Nearing the end of his career now, LeBron James is arguably the greatest basketball player of all time. Even if he isn't the GOAT in your opinion, he's definitely in your top 5 at least. The superstar isn't slowing down anytime soon though, even with some analysts making some rather questionable statements on who's gonna take over his mantle. So let's get into it. Firstly, we bet you almost forgot about this one. When Ben Simmons first broke out into the NBA, people were quick to label him the next LeBron James. It's a bit odd to think about it now, isn't it? Simmons grew up in Australia before joining Montverde Academy and LSU for their prestigious basketball programs. LeBron, on the other hand, was playing at SVSM, taking the high school team straight to the top in the early 2000s. The games were literally televised just because LeBron James was playing. So where does the comparison come from? Their playing style, of course. Ben Simmons was dubbed Baby Bron almost as soon as he got to the NBA. He played a lot like the basketball legend, the same way LeBron was called the new Magic Johnson. After a rough start to his pro career because of a foot injury, Simmons showed people why he was compared to LeBron in the first place. Winning Rookie of the Year in his second season, Simmons had everything he needed to establish himself as a professional. Well, in light of his success, Colin Cowherd went ahead and stated the unthinkable. He said that if LeBron James wanted to retire, it was alright because the league already has his replacement in Ben Simmons. Now that your memory's been refreshed, let's see how that statement played out. Moving on, has Ben Simmons lived up to the hype? Colin Cowherd was pretty sure of himself when he said the league already had a new LeBron in Ben Simmons. Well, long story short, Colin's statement aged like milk. Simmons hasn't had the easiest ride in the NBA so far, struggling with a few injuries and currently coming back from one. Now playing for the Brooklyn Nets, Ben Simmons has yet to showcase his LeBron James level of play. Don't get us wrong, Ben Simmons is a fantastic player in his day, but the new LeBron James? Yeah, that's a tough one. Filling the shoes of arguably the greatest of all time was always going to be a major ask of the young Simmons, and it probably didn't help when everyone dubbed him Bron's second coming at such a young age. Simmons has failed to reach the heights he set in his second season while playing for the 76ers. Struggling with a back injury that had him sidelined throughout last season, Simmons has not looked himself this season for the Nets. Meanwhile, LeBron is out here defying all odds as he averages 26, 8, and 6 at the age of 37 years old. No disrespect to Ben Simmons, but even a 37-year-old LeBron James is miles ahead of him at the moment. You can't fault the player though, as at the end of the day, he didn't make the comparison. We're looking at you, Colin. Next up, looks like LeBron might have beaten his biggest rival. Over the 20 years that LeBron James has played in the NBA, barely anyone has even come close to reaching the heights that LeBron has. Sure, you have your Stephen Curry and your Klay Thompson, but have we really seen any major competitor like King James since he started his legendary career? LeBron has almost always come out on top when it comes to being the best in the world. If there's anyone you'd want on your team to make a miraculous Game 6 comeback, it would be LeBron. Well, 20 years on in his career, LeBron seems to be beating what becomes every athlete's last rival, Father Time. Father Time always comes for you when you're in the sports industry. Whether you're the best in the world or a bench warmer, we usually see athletes retire once they enter their mid-30s, and even that is considered to be a pretty long career. LeBron James, however, is not your average athlete. The king is 37 years old and still putting up numbers that most players would be ecstatic about in their early 20s. For the past couple of seasons, talk of LeBron retiring has been pretty easy to come by, but given the looks of things, it's gonna be a while before it actually happens. Coming up, LeBron says he's gonna be here for a while. LeBron has been pretty shy when it comes to telling us when he's thinking of retiring, and at the age of 37, you would think it would be soon, right? Well, turns out we're gonna be blessed with a few more years of the King's time. Last season was definitely not the best for the LA Lakers, and they've looked to bring in fresh and young talent to bolster their offense this time around. Dennis Schroder was brought back and based on his already established chemistry with LeBron following his single season with the team in 2021. It's pretty obvious that Schroder and Bron have great chemistry, both on and off the court. Talking to a German outlet, Dennis Schroder spoke about conversations he'd had with James about when he'll retire. It's great news for us fans because, according to Dennis, LeBron wants to play for 5 to 7 more years. Bryce. I asked him how much longer he wants to play, and he said he wants to play for 5 to 7 more years. He's turning 38 now. He says 45. To be fair, LeBron has always said that he wants to play in the league with his son at some point, so maybe we shouldn't be surprised. Few athletes have the drive and motivation that James has shown for the past 2 decades, which is why he's going to finish his career as one of the greatest whenever he decides to hang up the boots. Moving on, is LeBron's longevity the best we've seen? In the past couple of years, we've seen a lot of people talk about how James is past his peak and that he should retire sooner rather than later. A lot of analysts have said the same, with some even saying that James's replacements are already in the league. Yes, we're still looking at you, Colin Cowherd. One has to ask though, how you can say that when the man is still playing like he is putting up the numbers. He's still on the fast break, still has all the handles, and is still arguably the best clutch player you can hope for. The truth is, this happens in every sport. Legends' careers have to come to an end at some point or another, but the fact is, that time isn't now for LeBron James. The man's been playing in a lackluster Lakers team that has not been looking its best for a while. Given the circumstances, LeBron is doing all he possibly can to lead the front as he always has. As far as the GOATs go, both Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant retired around this stage in their careers. Michael Jordan even had multiple retirement spells during his career, one to play baseball and one because he thought he was done. These retirement spells lasted a couple of years each, so when we compare LeBron and Kobe, they seem almost superhuman. Kobe Bryant retired in his 20th season in the NBA, and even though he had an amazing career overall, Kobe was not doing the things that LeBron is at his age. Next, what would LeBron's retirement mean for the NBA? Now that we know we have a good few years till LeBron decides that his time's up, the question is, what would the NBA look like without him? Alongside that, how long do you think LeBron will be able to keep up with his stellar performances? Let's not get it twisted. LeBron James is the epitome of an athlete. The term freak athlete has never rung more true than when it's used for King James. Still, Father Time is undefeated and always will be. Only time can really tell how long LeBron has before he legitimately looks like he has one foot out the door. The thing about LeBron is that it looked like that in the past, but he's always come out on top. Every time people have claimed that he's past his best, he's always pulled a rabbit out of the hat and shut up all the critics. At the age of 37, there can't be too much more time before James starts feeling the physicality of game a lot more than before. As far as superstars are concerned, the NBA is full of them. Giannis Antetokounmpo has got a good number of years left in him, and Luka Doncic as well. Nikola Jokic, Jimmy Butler, and Jason Tatum are all names that come to mind when we think about the best in the league, but are they really on the same level as LeBron? Definitely not yet, at least. Finally, there's no reason to be sad. If following sports has taught us anything at all, it's the fact that legends have to go at some point. However, there's no reason to be sad just yet. Thanks to Dennis Schroder, we at least know that LeBron plans to stay in the league well into his 40s. The official number given by Schroder was 45, but knowing LeBron, he could play even beyond that. The King has always had the work ethic and championship mentality to combat any and every problem he's ever faced, whether it's another player, team, or in this case, his age. For when he does retire, you guys know better than anyone that when one GOAT retires, it's almost inevitable for another to show up sooner rather than later. LeBron was already here by the time Kobe started thinking about retirement, and Kobe was already here when Michael Jordan was in his twilight. We might not even know it, and there could be a player already in the NBA that will reach those same heights. The only thing we're kinda sure about is that it most probably won't be Ben Simmons. That's right, Colin, you're never gonna live that one down. That's all for this video. So how long do you guys think LeBron has left? Be sure to leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and remember to drop a comment down below to let us know what you think. Subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to keep up with more videos just like this one. See you next time.